Alright, welcome to day 48 of Mastering Astral Projection. Today, the techniques are the same except for the very last technique. Took me a while to wrap my head around this one. The rope now is suspended from wall to wall in your room. And he suggests reaching out for it. It should be at reachable height. You reach out for it and then you start moving along the rope. So the way that I did this, actually experimented with a couple of different ways of doing this because I tell you the book did not really make sense. So what I did was I imagined that the rope was just above my head at arm's length. I grabbed it and it's suspended and going out the wall behind me. And so I wrapped my legs around it and then started hoisting myself along it. Now there was two ways to hoist. One is the regular hand over hand climbing, so you reach out, grab, pull, reach out, grab, pull. Or you could reach out with one hand, grab, then reach out with the other hand, grab, and then pull with both hands, as if you were moving along the rope across a chasm, and you're just taking one step at a time. Reach out, grab with one hand, reach out, grab with the next hand, then hoist. And doing that. So I did that in both directions. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that both directions. That didn't make sense. I did that with the first direction when I was going behind me. And I tried both hand over hand and the hoisting with both hands. What I noticed was when I did this, I felt like I was pulling behind me and I was really getting a lot of tension in my neck. So I had to stop doing that after a while because I felt like there was, I don't know, part of me was trying to pull out of my body, but it was really painful. I even did some mental maneuvering, telling myself that no matter what, I was going to get out of my body. In spite of the pain, and that nothing could stop me. So the other thing that I did was I imagined the rope out in front of me, as if the rope were going through my body, and then I would reach out and pull forward, as if there was some force trying to stop me from moving forward. I was pulling. I tried both hand over hand. I even tried reaching my arms way out in front of me, twice my arm length, and grabbing and pulling hand over hand. Then I tried the hoisting by grabbing, by reaching out, grabbing with one hand, reach out, grabbing with the next hand, then pulling again. I had some interesting sensations. One of the things that was going on with me today was that, I always do my work with the Om Mudra, where my index finger and my thumb are connected. And today, I was really feeling the pulse of my body through those fingers. I did a lot of primary energy center stimulation today as well. I got in there with, what I was doing was like imagining that I had a roll of masking tape, and I was masking up the chakra or the energy center, and then I was ripping the masking tape off, and then I used the hand mixer, a dual hand mixer this time, each blade going in opposite directions. Then those clappers that they use for the movies where they're going to check a scene, the black and white ones, and you hear roll 'em, action, whatever. I imagine using one of those over and over each primary energy center. So I really got my primary energy centers stimulated today. I really focused a lot on the breathing. The other thing that I did today, which was very different, was I took a nap before I decided to do my work. So there was no head bobbing, trance work, falling asleep. I was really awake. I wasn't able to get out of my body today, but I feel today like I did more work than I did ever before. And it felt good that I was really well rested. So I'm going to really make an effort to be well rested before I do my energy work, and I do this trying to get out of the body, because it does seem to require a lot of concentration. The thing that was interesting was, how did I know when I was done? I had been, doing all of the trying to loosen the body. I did spinning around the room. I did bouncing in front of me from ceiling to floor. That seemed to be, I synchronized my breath, and I really imagined that I was bouncing. So the upward direction was slow and had a drag to it, and I would inhale, and then I'd let myself drop to the floor, and I'd exhale quickly and feel the rush to the floor and then the bounce back up again. And I got to the point where my stomach didn't feel good. I thought that was an interesting experience, and so I'm going to keep working with that, because I think that I was definitely getting my astral body to shift, or at least getting the body double to shift. There were times where I thought it was going to break loose, but it didn't quite get there. The couple of things. So yesterday I mentioned that I'd gone to the Astral Dynamics forum and had posted that I was having problems with the sensations, and then I read the rest of the chapter around exit techniques, and there's some things I thought I'd share with. They mentioned that this requires a delicate mental physical balancing act. In early OBE practices, you are dealing with a lot of new sensations, and they acknowledge that you're holding a lot of stuff simultaneously. You're trying to work your breath. You're trying to loosen the body double. You're trying to keep the focus up here, which I find, I don't know if that really works. So I have to mention this, that each time I thought I was getting close, I would bring my focus back up here to make sure it was there, and I think I would lose it. I actually found that might be distracting. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence with it, but each time, Robert had really put a lot of stress that when you feel like you're really getting close, there's a couple things you might want to do. One is bring your focus back up here, and the other is bring your breath back to a cycle of 8, inhale, cycle hold for 8, and then a cycle exhale for 8, and then repeat. And I found that each time I went to go do that, I was like getting distracted, like it was moving me out of the energy experience. So I was really doing a lot of experimenting today, so I need to find out what works, really, and it's going to be individual. He does mention that we're staying on the balance of sleep and wake. It will take time to harmonize your brain, just to be patient. And whenever you're using an exit technique, you resolve yourself that this is going to be the time you're going to do it. I was doing that, still didn't work, but I'm keeping the faith. The other thing is rolling out. I tried this a little bit too. Actually, I've tried this a number of times before I started this program. It's kind of the feeling like you are in bed and you want to roll over from one side to the other. It's that feeling that you're just rolling over quickly. This is something to help stimulate getting the body double to move out of the your fundamental energy body. You just imagine that you're doing a quick roll out of the body. That was weird. I just did that and my screen changed. That's really funny. I said roll out of the body, and I have, if you're a Mac user, I have my dashboard set right now because there's less light on it. And the minute I said roll out, suddenly my dashboard went back to my regular screen. I have no idea why that happened. That was really bizarre. Maybe I'm astral projecting right now. Anyway, yeah, so try the rolling out to get your body to really do that final nudge to get out. And okay, I think that's about it. I had a dream about my dad last night, and I neglected to wake up and write it down, and I was bummed because I really wanted to go back and capture it, but I lost it. Oh well. Yeah, I haven't written down my dreams yet today, but I think that's it. We have one more day, I believe. We'll be going to day 49 next. By the way, he was calling that the chasm crossing rope technique. You're crossing a chasm. It's funny, I didn't even read it before, and that's the way I pictured it, was crossing a chasm. Yeah, so tomorrow will be the last day, and then we move on to the next week 8. So anyway, that's enough for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.